Christian European civilization. Their goal has been to preserve a white Christian supremacy, contrary to the founders' vision, and they have tolerated the founders' liberalism and the workings of the democratic system only when it has not undermined that cause. When it has, they have repeatedly rebelled against it. A straight line runs from the slaveholding South in the early to mid-19th century to the post-Reconstruction South of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, to the Second Ku Klux Klan of the 1920s, to the Dixiecrats of the 1940s and 50s, to Joseph McCarthy and the John Birch Society of the 1950s and 60s, to the burgeoning Christian nationalist movement of recent decades, to the New Right of the Reagan era, to the Republican Party of today. The issues change, from fluoridated water in the 1960s to vaccines today, from allegedly communist-inspired Girl Scout handbooks in the 1950s to elementary school curricula today. The circumstances have varied. These movements have arisen in hard times, such as after the 2008 financial crisis, and in good times, in the boom years of the 1920s, the 1950s, and the 1980s and 90s. The media environments have shifted from newspapers to radio and TV to the Internet. But the core complaint has been the same, as is the proposed remedy. All these anti-liberal groups, the slaveholding South, the white Southern populists of the Jim Crow era, the Klan, the Birchers, the followers of Pat Buchanan, have feared that their idea of America as a nation of small government, maximum freedom, and a white Christian populace was under attack. All have believed elite cabals involving Wall Street, Jewish bankers, cosmopolitans, Eastern intellectuals, foreign interests, and black people have conspired to keep the common white man down. All have sought to make America great again by defending and restoring the old hierarchies and traditions that predated the Revolution. The most successful leaders of these populist movements have always played to popular fears and resentments of the elite, the liberal media, and government bureaucrats who supposedly have contempt for the people. Like Trump, they have flouted conventional norms of political and social behavior. William Buckley noted that the very uncouthness of George Wallace seemed to account for his general popularity. James Burnham marveled at how Joseph McCarthy's inept acts and ignorant words had a charismatic quality that well expressed the fears and angers of his devoted followers. Opponents of the late 19th century white supremacist populist Senator Ben Tillman of South Carolina called him a transparent charlatan, recklessly appealing to the passions and prejudices of the ignorant and wielding the dynamic power of hatred. What their critics saw as boorishness and malevolence, however, their followers saw as strength and defiance against a world stacked against them. These were not the tame conservers of classical liberalism that some intellectuals claim as the true conservatism of America. They have been rebellious opponents of the system, wreckers, unabashedly anti-liberal in both thought and manner, and that is what made them popular. The Trump movement is no freakish aberration, therefore. Like the demon spirit in a Stephen King novel, it has always been with us, taking different forms over the decades, occupying first one party, then another, sometimes powerfully influential, other times seemingly weak and disappearing. Today, it has taken control of the Republican Party as it once controlled the Democratic Party. And although people can point to many recent proximate causes of its latest manifestation as the Trump movement, the search for such causes misses the point. The problem is not the design of the American system. It is not the Electoral College, which not so long ago favored the Democratic Party much as it today favors Republicans. It is not political polarization, per se, which has often shaped American politics. It is not the Internet.